Hi guys, I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia.
And this is our tutorial video of CarmaRace.
See this little logo?
That's us. That's why we're not doing a review. Because we'd be so biased.
#1 game. 10 on 10.
So biased.
In CarmaRace, players are hitchhiking their way to a convention. First one there gets a limited edition item of their choice. In the box you'll find a huge board with the starting grid, roads, train tracks, airspace, GPS system with quick rules summary, and the convention hall. 6 character cards, each with a turn summary and an optional special ability. A deck of vehicle cards, which contains cars, trucks, bikes, trains, planes, and more. 3 deck of karma cards for each type of transportation. 1 for the road, 1 for trains, and 1 for the planes. 6 hitchhiker pawns of different colors. And finally, you'll get 2 red dice and 2 green dice. The first player to reach the convention wins the game.
So here's how to set up. Shuffle each deck of cards and place them next to the board. Each player rolls a die to see who starts. The first player will place his pawn on the number 1 spot, the second on 2, and so on. You'll notice that the player 5 is next to a train station and the player 6 is next to an airport. Each player will now draw cards from the deck according to the maximum hand size, which is the number of players plus 2. So in a 6-player game, the maximum hand size is 8. You can draw cards from any deck, 1 card at a time, until you reach your maximum hand size. You're now ready to hitchhike to victory.
On your turn, you have 5 steps. First is draw. Here you draw up to your maximum hand size. Then comes the transportation phase. Here you can play a vehicle plus add 1 karma to it if you choose to. So for example, I will play this vehicle and add turbocharge to it. The next phase is the karma round. Starting with the players to your left, each player can play 1 karma card on your vehicle or pass. If they play a red karma card, this means bad news. If they play a yellow karma card, this means it's a risky card and might help you or hinder you. And finally, if they play a green card, they are helping you and they immediately move up 2 spaces. The karma round can end only when all players say pass consecutively. The limit of karma cards which can be played on a vehicle is written on top of its speed. If you ever have karma cards equal to the number there, then you can't add any more cards. However, you can place cards on top of other cards if they specify, like the flat tire for example. Playing this card stays within karma limit of the vehicle. Once all players have said pass consecutively, the next phase begins, movement.
During this phase, you total up your speed with all the karma cards included and special abilities to check how many spaces you move. Move up that many spaces and then discard your vehicle and all karma cards to their discard pile. If you're on a train, only the train remains in play until you reach a station. If you're on a plane, then the plane card stays in play until you reach an airport. To use the trains or planes, you must be adjacent to a station or airport and play that transportation card, and then you will move on those spaces instead of the road. Once you move your pawn and removed all cards, you can discard up to 2 cards to draw that many from any deck. This is good to prepare attacks on other players in the following turns. Keep in mind that the first 3 rounds you can't play negative karmas on other players.
Let me explain some of the extra rules in the game. The stop signs are train crossings and you must stop when you reach them, unless you are in a vehicle which ignores train crossings like this one. Some vehicles can be used on train tracks, which means during movement you can go from road to train tracks as you wish, as long as they are adjacent to each other. If you end your move on a train track with one of these vehicles, you keep it in play just like you would a train card, until you reach a road or station. The white arrows determine which direction the driver chooses to go. When you enter a space with arrows, roll a die and check on the GPS in which direction to continue your movement. During movement, you are allowed to stop whenever you want. So if you stop on a white arrow, you'll be able to choose which direction you're going in your next turn. Here's a bluffing hint. You can stop next to an airport, making other players think you are taking the plane next turn. This will make them draw plane karma cards to play against you on your next turn. Little do they know, you're taking the road again and they're stuck with plane karma in their hand.
Some vehicles will say that corner spots cost 0 or cost double movement. A corner spot is anything which makes you change direction, including white arrows. If a car says that it will stop at a corner after moving 5 spaces, then it stops right before changing direction, only after moving 5 spaces. Here's an example. This card says it stops at a corner after 5 spaces, so to get into the convention to win, I have to turn into it, making this spot a corner spot. Since I already moved 5 spaces, I will stop right in front of the convention because it's a corner space. The limo takes longer on corner spots, which will cost 2 movement points instead of 1. Another thing you want to look at is the keywords of cards before playing them. For example, if I'm in a patrol car, then cop cards like these are not allowed and can't be played.
Now let's take a look at special abilities. Choose at the start of the game if you will be playing with these or without. 2 of these characters can play karma cards face down as a +2 or a -2. These cards must be karma cards of the same type of transportation. So on a plane, you can only play plain karma cards face down. These are always considered neutral cards. So even giving a +2 in this matter to another player does not advance you 2 spaces. 2 other characters can re-roll a die they rolled. If you do this and roll the same number, you must discard a card and roll it again. So it's a little risky. The final 2 characters can simply add or subtract 1 from a die they rolled.
Play until a player reaches the convention hall and is declared the winner. We hope this video helps you understand more of the rules, and if you have any more questions, please go to our website and check out our FAQ page. Thanks for watching and enjoy the game.